So here we are with the final episode, episode 12 of Tearmoon Empire. Last episode, we had a bit of a kerfuffle between Sion and Abel. A little dumb between the both of them, but I think that it showed that Sion is simply just a pawn in this game of the round table of evil men. So we'll just have to see how this problem concludes itself. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Report to you first. There goes the crow. Your retainer. Oh yeah, Dion. Man just got a fucking wound right on his side. Ooh. I mean, he was attacking him the same as well. You don't use Prince Sion's. Ooh. Oh. Alright, let's hope you don't bite your tongue. Ooh. Oh. Wow, what a mature and cool response you got there, Mia. I was being stupid. A rogue unit. Okay. I mean, I guess that goes with, like, the way that Monica says, you know, the king of Sunklin is, you know, he wants it to be fair and just and whatever. And yet here she is working with Graham, who's doing these shitty stuff. It is Sunklin that comes in, that's right. She's starting to figure it out. Oh, that's because you got to know Sion, huh? But it is still a part of Sunklin, yeah. Yeah, let's punish him by making him fucking fix this mess. You finally experienced failure. Yeah, you know, the perfect prince, huh? Especially me! Yeah, don't fucking do this shit again, alright? Once a punishment is granted. Oh, it's like a bots game. Yeah. I thought she was gonna slap me in the back of the head. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, she's gonna kick him? Just really fucking kick them in his ass. He's gonna be like, oh, cool, that's... I guess this was my punishment. Her kicks are absolutely... Yo. Mia, you need to train your legs, alright? It's time to leg days. Leg day every day. Mia's like, what? Yeah, what is he, a fucking masochist? If you never said anything to me. The force and angle are important. Hey yo, you can kick me anytime. Understandable. Where did Bernard go anyway? Of course! You gotta see this out for yourself, Mia. I like that Anne's got a picnic basket with her. Oh! I'm starting to see his, like, the line in his mouth. He is the same guy from the summer vacation. That is our fierce wish. Maybe you guys should, like, surround the building beforehand. What if they just jump out the back? No, this is a good bad fit. Was inaccurate. I suppose if he came in without announcing, huh? What? Oh my god. Oh my god, she brought it? Oh no! Oh no, if it... Oh no! Alright, well, you're still in enemy territory, hold on. Even the narrator is like, oh my fucking god. You know, I did see this big old fucking area. Like, she really just fell. Alright, Mia, you could have fucking died from that shit. Oh, and she broke her shampoo too. Really brought herself right into the enemy's feet. Man, he's got some dark eye pouches, dude. Dark eye pouches. Man hadn't had sleep in like weeks. So you even found the secret path to the dungeon. You shouldn't have, like, turned around. You should have continued backing up. She still just got the shampoo all over her. One person. Yeah, there's no way her piss would smell this good. What? Oh my god, her kick worked! Oh my god. Yo. Brilliantly defeated. Don't worry, Mia's got a plan. Yeah, you have been having a good time. Got friends and everything. Ah, the recap. What are you, a tsundere?
それはいいね。
What? What?
そんな舐めたまねを。
あら、拷問でも何でもしてみろ。ではなかったかし。
後に歴史の陰に潜む闇を暴き出す。その最初の一撃になったのだ。
Lurking in the shadows of history. Yeah, that's another story for another volume, I guess. Ah! Ah, the horses! Back to school. We got the cherry blossoms and everything. Is that why you had the picnic basket? Oh, shit! How did that fit in the oven? We just brought a bunch of adult men for you to torture. Yeah, at least until guillotine gets you, right? Slightly selfish. Alright. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. Okay, it just vanished. Anyways, I like that one. I will say though, this part right here, when Mia walks over here, it is just so funny because like the background is like pretty much fucking still. Like the clouds aren't even moving. Like not even like a tiny bit. Not even like, you know, just like nice little small movement of the wind. But like this strong gust of wind comes out of nowhere. And then the background is just so still. Very funny. Okay. Alright, well, we're gonna go back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 12 of Tearmoon Empire. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty alright ending. It concluded this whole section of the Remno conflict, and it's just the literally the narrator telling you, hey, the story continues, by the way, so maybe you should consider reading the light novel. Understandable. And he's like, this is another story that is to be told later on. And that it's, again, I thought that this ending was pretty alright. Hold on, I have to just get a quick look. Everything that played out through this whole time, I think it's fine. I don't really have too much to say. It's just kind of like, okay, the problem got fucking solved pretty quickly, and then Mia deals the final blow by kicking Gem right in his fucking nuts, right? Her kick finally worked, you know? And that's really, perhaps that's what Mia should learn for next time. You know, this is one way for her to defeat a man. Just aim for his groin. You know, even if your kick might not be all that powerful. And then we've got this whole thing with Mia thinking about her previous life and her doing a little punishment on Sion, right? The idea of, hey, maybe you should give people a second chance before you try and just put them right under the goddamn guillotine. And it kind of moves on over to these rebels, these bad men as well, right? We're not going to just simply cut off their heads, because that's exactly what they want, right? Even if they're dead, they still got like a round table of evil men who will probably use that against them. Mia's over here allowing them to not die, and then also getting Rafina to just lecture them for 3 years? Like, what a fucking... Is Rafina getting paid for this? Like... Hey Rafina, we're bringing you a league of just old men that you, a teenage girl, need to lecture for the next 3 years. And Rafina's just like, all right. But yeah, everything was solved rather smoothly, and I'm starting to think how big those sandwiches are. Hold on, I want to see that, but without the credits. Can we get the credits out of here? Yeah, those are some humongous sandwiches. Oh my god. Alright, the whole scene ends with everybody having a picnic, and, you know, it's Mia feeling like, okay, I love this timeline. Or, sorry, I like this timeline a whole lot more than my previous, because, well, her previous timeline was a little suffering, as we can see with all the previous flashbacks that we see. You know, I said that this is a picnic of everyone together, but Ludwig is not here because fuck him. You know, he's not in school. He's an adult doing adult things. Anyways, it's that whole feeling of Mia now has friends and she doesn't want to lose them, and you know, it's a rather typical feeling of, well, now that I have people I actually care about, it's going to hurt a little bit more, right? It's going to I'm actually when I feel lonely, Mia, I mean, it's going to hurt a lot more. So that's just something that I assume will get brought up later on into the series. And also, I have not started on volume 1 yet, but since we're going to have like almost kind of a weekish where there's like for like the winter season, the winter season to kick in, I probably will finally have time to read the first volume, so that will be nice. That's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. So like my whole feeling for this anime as a whole, I like it. The one thing that I thought about initially, just because it's something that kind of gets shown in the opening and I kind of just assumed it, is that there was going to be a potential love triangle between Mia, Sion, and Abel, but I actually like that it's pretty much been streamlined for Mia and Abel, and so I do like that the way that their relationship has gotten closer to one another, albeit it's not exactly, I don't know, I suppose it's not exactly my favorite kind of pair. Not really my thing, but I still think that they did a pretty good job with the way that they brought these two together. So I enjoy that, and again, I thought that this was going to be a love triangle thing, but they haven't done that. The only sort of feeling that there might be a love triangle is that Abel just feels inferior to Sion. But Mia doesn't feel that way with, that doesn't feel the same way with Sion as she would Abel, so not a love triangle. So I like that. Again, I like that they've just made it much more focused on Mia and Abel. We've got a rather big character cast, and because of that, not a lot of characters get development. That's what I feel. But when they do, it's kind of just like a light switch has been flipped on, and it's just like, oh shit, I'm suddenly changed from the person that I used to be in the first timeline to the person that I am now in this timeline, right? Kind of like with what we see in the introduction of Tiona. And I don't only say character development just because we kind of have an idea of how she was. The same goes with Sion when they were in the first timeline, and so now they're just that, and it's the anime is just here to showcase that difference between their characters from the separate timelines. But other than that, like, they don't really get a character development. The only people I feel who really goes through character development is Mia a little bit, and Abel himself, right? Abel is the person who has changed the most. And through Abel, Mia is changing, albeit I feel in terms of like the romantic aspect. She's not really changing as much as a character, but we do kind of see again in this episode where Mia knows that this timeline is so much better, and she loves her newfound friends, right? The people that she thought were enemies and such are now her friends. So I thought that was I thought that was pretty nice. When it comes to the animation, I feel like there was not a dip in quality, but you could kind of see a gradual decline as like towards like the final episode-ish. That's what I feel anyways, but it's not like super obvious, and I think that for the most part they kept everything stable. And I mean, there's not really like any crazy animation that they need to do, so there's, you know, there's also that. I mean, when it comes to like the animation and like the fucking fight scenes that they have, it's very, it's like lukewarm at best. That's what I feel. But this is also coming from a person who doesn't really enjoy fight scenes all that much. I'm a person who much prefer hand-to-hand combat. If we're really talking about fight scenes and stuff, like I enjoy martial arts fights a whole lot better than like super epic anime fights like DBZ style shit or you know, just sword fights or whatever. Not really big fan of that. I mean, if you just give me a good old slap fight, that's great too. I got hyped for that shit. But again, when they did showcase like the fight scenes and stuff, that is kind of just it's lukewarm at best. For the comedy, it's primarily based on, as what the anime says, right? As everybody in the cast says, it's the wisdom of the Empire. So it's all based on Mia doing stupid shit, but because she acts like she knows what she's doing, because she has an idea of what happens in the future, she's able to kind of fix things for the most part, but then after that, things kind of go off on their own, right? And now all she really needs to do is just to say something super fucking vague, and then everybody will just say the answer for her. You know, they're just like, so what you're saying is da 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 da. You know, they're just solving the issue for her. All she really needed to do is to nudge them the right way. You know, she's leading the horse to the river. That is really all she's doing now, and that's like the entire comedy, which I personally feel could definitely get stale after a while. Because if that's like the only sort of comedy point that you have, you know, like you're gonna need a little bit of something else. And if there were some other type of comedy points, I currently cannot remember it right now, because the main thing that it focuses on is the wisdom of the Empire. So yeah, other than that, the music is very basic, I feel, for like this type of anime. It certainly fits for like the time period, but other than that, I feel like it's nothing nothing special. In terms of episodes, if I can freaking remember what the hell was going on during these times, the first episode was a good introduction. Kind of goes through the first timeline and everything, and I thought that was nice. Introduces us to Ludwig and Anne, and I thought it was a good episode. The second episode, I think it kind of continues on with that, Ludwig and Anne, I mean, and I believe in episode 3, let me go check just a bit. Episode 3 is when she finally hits the academy, I believe. Yeah, and then that's when we are introduced to Tiona and Sion and Abel as well, I believe, and also Rafina. So we're kind of introduced to a lot of people. So that's kind of like episode 3, 4 is the arc where we're introduced to all her schoolmates and everything. Episode 4 is the time when we got to see the dance, which I thought was pretty But I believe 5 and 6 is when they actually get, episode 5 and 6 is when they get into like the whole sandwich thing, the horse bread, which I thought was very fun. But like, was it episode 7? That was when they were in the tournament. No, episode 7 was when they went into the summer vacation sort of spiel. So yeah, okay, episode 6 is the battle between Sion and Abel, which, again, it's a lukewarm fight. Abel's out here, you know, he's the man who practices the same move 1,000 times, and that's a very dangerous thing, as Bruce Lee would say. So, understandable, but like, he just does the same fucking thing, you know, he's the guy who spams the same moveset. But I believe from like episode 7 to 9, somewhere around there, so, yeah, I think it's 7 to 9, that was like the entire summer vacation where Mia gets a lot of shit done. And it kind of feels this is where the narration was going on in the light novel. You know, like the narrator's just like, this is what Mia did, da 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 da. And sometimes you get the scene of Mia inside said scene, and then da da da, here's all the other things that she's been doing during summer break. And I felt like those were a bit of a low point for the anime, I personally feel. But then once episode 10 to 12 hits, I thought that the moving of the story was pretty good in terms of the round table of evil men were trying to take down the Tearmoon Empire, but since they can't, they're aiming for the Remno Empire instead. Their hands are forced. And I thought that was pretty nice, right? Perhaps this was a change in events. And it was, right? They were supposed to take down the Tearmoon Empire first, and then they were gonna go for the Remno, but they couldn't do it, so their hands are forced with Remno, as we saw with what Graham was talking about. And I like the change in that plot point. I like the talk that Mia had with Sion about his ideals and his beliefs and what he would do to these people. And, you know, her criticizing him for like, hey, you're the one who hasn't really intervened into these problems in the first place, and yet you're coming in like the fucking, you know, judge, jury, executioner and stuff. I really like those talks, albeit most of them are kind of in Mia's head as she's criticizing him in her head. Not like she could fucking say it anyways, right? Because he doesn't know that he did that in the previous timeline. So I enjoyed that talk in like episode 10. And episode 11 came, and we had that whole, you know, do me, bro! I'm just here to talk with Abel. Goes to Abel. Let's fucking fight, bro. Let's do it. Like, it was very stupid. But I get what that episode was trying to do, that it was showcasing that Sion was simply a pawn in this game of chess that the round table of evil men are doing. And he's also, I don't know, just kind of fucking stupid. But it also goes to show that Mia's relationships that she has fostered throughout this entire season is coming back in good graces for her, right? That Dion comes, that Anne told Ludwig about this whole situation, and that's why they're able to come into into the Remno Kingdom and stop this whole thing before Sion and Abel fucking murderize each other. I get the whole concept of that episode, I just didn't really like it. And again, episode 12, it's just, the problem has been solved. No conflict. Well, no conflict at all. I mean, if you want to count the conflict between Mia and Jem, maybe it was like for 2 minutes or at best. And then she just slipped on the horse shampoo and kicked him right in his nuts. And then that's it. Problem solved. I was thinking, we didn't really get to see Graham either. They just mentioned that, yeah, there's the Wind Crows and the Albi. They're a rogue unit that's working against Sunklet, but technically working for Sunklet, for the goodness of Sunklet and whatever, but they're going against the king's will, or behind the king's back. I was just like, we didn't get to see Graham get arrested or anything, you know, because like I thought Monica's the person who made this whole spiel. I mean, we saw Keithwood, like the black crow that Keithwood had on, like it flew away, so like I don't know, where is that crow going back to Monica, I guess. But again, I don't know, they didn't even show Graham, so maybe he got punished, who knows. We can't fit him in this episode. We have the whole opening here and everything, so we couldn't fit him in the episode. We gotta get the picnic going. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on like the entire episodes of this show. again, in terms of like the comedy stuff, it really does feel like it's just a one-trick pony, kind of like Abel. And it does make me wonder if, like, are we going to get some sort of new change in the comedy when it comes to that? If not, again, it's either going to get stale, or like the comedy is literally going to blend all in with one another, and it's going to be really hard to decipher what joke was where. I don't know, maybe for some people that's totally fine if like it all blends into one another, and you know, as long as you get the ha-has and everything. For me, I like for them to be to have a bit of a variety. And again, if there has been variety in the comedy, I definitely did not see it, or I definitely do not remember it, because it just does not stand out as much as the wisdom of the Empire. Yeah, for me, when it comes to like comedy, yeah, I'll get the haha moments and all that, but then if it's not like, if it doesn't stand out to me, I'll just forget about it, and which also kind of goes to like why I don't really enjoy comedies as much anymore, like comedy shows, comedy anime and all that, comedy TV shows, not like comedy shows like Whose Lines Is It Anyways, you know, that's a fucking fun show. I still remember a lot of jokes from that one. Yeah, that's why I don't particularly enjoy comedy anime as much anymore, just because I feel like unless they're gonna go fucking bonkers and crazy, you know, even for something like the family circumstances of the irregular, which like that comedy style, it's they go fucking crazy and they go very fucking stupid, and like a lot of the jokes that I am still thinking about that series, and like I'm still able to just remember a good amount of jokes that they toss in there, and it's very fun. I enjoy it. It's very fun. But for this one, it's just kind of, again, it all feel kind of like blends together, and it's really hard for me to remember what joke goes where. And again, for some people, that might not matter, but for me, it matters. And I don't know why I went on this rant. But you know what? If I had to give this a rating, probably give it a 7. I try not to give 6s anymore on my anime list. That's where you can see all my ratings. I try not to give 6 anymore because, I don't know, I feel like I should give anime a bit of a benefit of the doubt, but my ratings tend to change a little afterwards, and it tends to get a little harsher. So, for right now, I do feel like it's a 7, but it might change. Who knows? Who knows? Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. That's it. But thank you guys for sticking around. If you have been following me through this whole series, I appreciate you. And if I have anything else to say, I'll write it in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you guys.